All right, we are recording. Awesome. So welcome to our team call tonight, the last Sunday in October, which is crazy. We have an amazing speaker tonight. I have a couple announcements before we just dive right in, because I can do announcements on a Facebook Live in the team page anytime, but right now we want to make sure that we're utilizing our speaker. So I just have two announcements, maybe three. Okay, one. What was the first one? One was our team call is going to be changing because we are moving to Tuesday nights. Don't get crazy about it. Don't get all twisty up. We're just moving to Tuesday nights because we are going to collaborate with some other Superstar Diamond teams and do a collaborative, collective call. So it's going to be a ginormous team call, which is going to be so amazing, which means you're going to get to hear from a lot of different coaches, but it's going to be Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. So I'm sharing that with you. I will share more information between now and next week. And also, just so you know, the first one will be next Tuesday night. And don't give me any baloney about it being, it's a Tuesday night and it's 9 o'clock and that's too late. Number one, next Tuesday is my birthday. So if I can be on a team call on my birthday, I don't want to hear anybody else complaining about it. Number two, when I started coaching, I don't even know how I survived this. When I started coaching, my upline coach, Christine Dwyer, would run team calls on Thursday nights. Wait for it. Do you know what time? 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights at 10:30. You know why? Because she lived in Central Time, because that was 9:30 for her, and that's all well and good. 10:30. Do you know how many Thursday nights I was on that call on Thursday nights at 10:30, and at 11 o'clock, my husband would like slowly take the phone out of my hand and like hang it up because I would have fallen asleep. But by golly, I was on that call at 10:30 at night. So we can do a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, because that also lets the Central Time Zone people be on at 8, and so it just works a little better if Eastern Time sometimes is a little bit later. So we get the 9 p.m. totally fine, but we're going to mastermind with other Superstar Diamond teams. So you're going to get to hear from just really amazing coaches and all of their coaches as well on Tuesday nights. So we've got it set up, I think, through the end of the year. I don't know what will happen come January, so just stay tuned for more info. But that's announcement number one. Announcement number two. Also, stay tuned for more info, because I think this is still being kind of settled on. I was just checking my messages to see if we had kind of settled on it. But some of you might know Jamie Fitzpatrick, who is a top coach up in Canada. And Jamie is going through some health struggles right now. And we are just dedicating our workouts this week to Jamie, because he can't work out and we can. So I'm going to get back to you on the hashtag. It looks like it could be Sweat for Fitz Fam. I'll put that in the comments. It looks like that's what it could be. But if you have got some extra prayers and good vibes, that's what makes this business bigger than fitness, is when one needs help, we circle the wagons and we rally together. So Jamie and his wife are coaches in Canada. You probably know them. And he's got some pretty serious health struggles right now. So this week we are dedicating our workout. So whatever workout you're doing, when you put it on your Instagram, when you put it on your story, put the hashtag, I'll put it in the comments unless it changes, sweat for Fitz Fam, and just keep their family in your prayers this week. So more details on the Tuesday night call and more details on that as the week progresses. But we are into the last 4 days, really almost tomorrow, of October. And we're going to finish this month strong with an incredible speaker tonight. And it's funny because every time I speak on someone else's call, the coach will go, tell me all your attributes and accolades and blah, blah, blah. And I go, I am a wife, a mom, and a coach. And they're like, okay, whatever. And so because I just don't get into that kind of stuff, I always forget to ask my speaker if he or she would like us to say anything. So hence, Kacia, I haven't even asked you for all your accolades, which are many. But this I do know, Kacia has an amazing podcast called Empower Her. So if you're looking for a fantastic podcast, which she's just released this year, I mean, you kind of started it, but it's just been going on this year. Some of you may have already stumbled upon it because it gets recommended when you're looking for other podcasts, but she's got an amazing podcast. And if you haven't found it, make sure that you're finding it and you're following her, because if you ever just need a dose of energy, just go to Kacia and just follow her on social, and she'll give you all the energy all the time. Also, it is 4 p.m. her time right now. So she has graciously taken time out of her Sunday afternoon to share with us today. And this is just sort of what we do here in Team Beachbody. That's why I ask you to mute It's why I ask you to be on time. It's why I ask you to be sitting up and getting ready to take notes, because myself and our speakers have put time and energy and thought into preparing resources so that we all can succeed. And sometimes I know, like Audra asked us to have, I can't remember who you asked, Audra, and then I like made it happen the next week. But sometimes you all want specific speakers. Kacia, you were one of those that they wanted. And then sometimes you might not know this, but I'm just asking people because I need to hear from those people too. We're all learning and growing in this together. So it's why I ask you to show up on time, get ready to take notes, and be respectful to our speakers, because she's just sharing some time out of her Sunday afternoon with us because she wants to. And that's the amazing part of being part of this family in this business. So remember to hit speaker view. I'm going to mute myself. Kacia, just let us, know whatever you want to share with us, your story, your awesomeness, and take it away.
You are so sweet, Julie. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. And of course, so honored, because the culture that you've created on this team, all of you guys together, because every single person, even a brand new coach your first day, the energy that you bring is so important to the team culture. So I'm honored to get to chat with you guys and just excited. So what I want to do tonight is I want to talk a little bit about inviting and closing. So it's going to be tactical. I'm really, like Julie, mentioned, I have a podcast. I'm really into the mindset. I'm really into like getting unstuck and all of that stuff. But I also think it's really powerful to build up that tool set of what are the tactical things that I can actually do, especially at the end of the month when you've got goals in your business. And hitting Success Club is a foundational goal in your business, not just because of Beachbody accolades or earning every single month that you show up in your business and you do hit Success Club and you push yourself and you hit that goal, you're putting a giant deposit in your confidence bucket. And every single month, as you consistently build that confidence, it's so freaking powerful, because then it makes it a little bit easier to show up. Or when someone doesn't understand your business or says a weird comment to you, you start to brush those things off because you've built up this confidence that comes from consistently showing up and honoring what you feel called to do, which is be a Beachbody coach. So quick backstory about me. I've been coaching for about 5.5 years. I started in January of 2014. At the time, I was working as a corporate IT recruiter and project manager at an engineering company in Seattle. And I was not passionate about building a business. I was not passionate about fitness. I really felt a little bit unfulfilled, even though I had everything on paper. And because I was working crazy hours, which maybe some of you guys can connect with this, health and fitness just totally got put on the back burner. So I heard of P90X because I heard that it was really hard and saw the infomercials and decided I would get the hardest program because I wanted to challenge myself. Well, I quit P90X on day 4, like 4 weeks in a row, because it's 90 minutes of yoga on day 4. And like, raise your hand if you've done P90X. It's just like, it's crazy. So anyways, I'm really grateful for P90X day 4, because that's the reason that I'm a coach. I reached out to a random stranger that I had never connected with on Instagram. And I asked to be in one of her groups. And what's funny about that, and I think this is an important little tangible thing, I knew that I could ask her because she was so dang consistent, showing up, sharing her workouts, sharing her story. So I knew that I didn't even have to know her to know that she could help me, because what I was doing wasn't working. I didn't know anything about the Beachbody compensation plan. I didn't know anything about what this was, but I knew that I wanted accountability for myself. And I thought, if I don't know why I'm not as happy and fulfilled as I could be, maybe I'll start with one thing that I do want to fix, which is my health and fitness and kind of how I felt about my own body image. Turns out, as you guys know, you're all coaches, like you get into one of these groups, you see how much these products and programs like serve you the convenience element of all of it. I was like, holy crap, like so many girls that feel like how I feel, that have all these things on paper, but are maybe getting their health and fitness goals put on the back burner, could connect with this too. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start a business. And I came into it with the mindset of, number one, I'm going to win at this business day 1, because this is the thing that I'm gonna do that's gonna help me be more myself. My personal goal with Beachbody was not to build I've hit Million Club and done those things, and that's great. But my goal was never to do any of that. It wasn't even for it to be a full-time job. The first goal was I want to help someone like me. That's it. People that I know that I could connect with that might want the convenience of these programs and to be in a community of other women doing this. And my second goal was I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to do something that maybe I would never think that I could do. And I'm just going to get good at being myself in this business. And I think sometimes when we're, there's a lot of Beachbody goals and there's all these things that we're constantly getting thrown at us, sometimes we forget that by you showing up as a coach and doing the things like what we're going to talk about with Inviting in Success Club and putting yourself out there, you're not just becoming a better coach and building your business, but you're becoming a better human being. And that's not just going to affect how you show up in your business, but that affects how you show up in your life. And there are so many people that are going to benefit as a byproduct of your bravery of you putting yourself out there to do that thing that you feel called to do, because you might inspire them to do that. You might inspire them to do coaching, or you might just get to be around them and they get a better, happier, more fulfilled version of you because you're making a commitment to yourself and to doing the thing that sometimes is hard. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have never gone into any job or started anything new and been like, wow, this is so easy. I know everything. When you start something new, it's so challenging. You don't like sit down at your desk. I worked at Google as my last corporate job. I didn't sit at my desk and get my logins and they're like, all right, Kacia, now go hire everyone to work at Google, which was my job. They were like, here's your training. You're going to have to put work into this. You're going to kind of suck at first. Like they didn't say that, but I knew that. I'm going to suck at first and then I'm going to fail and then I'm going to get feedback from that failure and I'm going to keep going. So what my goal is, I'm going to share with you guys how I actually invite because I want to give you something tangible. But my goal really is to kind of change your perception on this, on inviting as a whole and on building this business as a whole. And understanding that if you want those messages that say, because of you, my life's changed, you want those messages that are from women that are saying, you saved my marriage, you helped me, through my fertility journey, you helped me with my postpartum, whatever it is. If you want those messages, it's crucial that you invite, because sometimes people are in a place where they don't feel comfortable reaching out to you because they don't even know how to ask for help because they're hurting. We need to help those people. And sometimes when we think of inviting, we think of it like a scary, weird, salesy thing. But truth of the matter is, I think it's really powerful that we plant the seed and we think of inviting and detach ourselves from the outcome of the invite. So when you plant the seed, you're starting to help someone look at your social media content through the lens of someone that could also do it too, right? So the part that I didn't mention of when I started, I signed up with P90X and I put down my coach's name without ever talking to her because I thought that this is like where you got commission off of an order, and she was really cute. She was a mom of 3 and I was like, oh, your kids are so cute and you post cute quotes. I literally didn't understand this business, but she immediately invited me to be in one of her groups. I said no because I didn't really understand what this was and I wasn't interested in doing it until I started quitting day 4. But because she invited me, I was watching all of her social media content through the lens of someone that could do it. Even though I didn't see myself in her story because she was a stay-at-home mom of 3, I wasn't, married with kids or anything like that. I was working in the corporate world. We didn't have a lot in common on paper, but because she invited me, I was looking at it through the lens of, wait a second, I could be in her groups too. If she wouldn't have invited me, even though I said no, I wouldn't have watched her content that way through the lens of maybe this is possible. So I think part of the fear goes away when you realize 2 things. 1, it's important that we just help people start to look at our content, like our Instagram stories and things like that, through the lens of they could do it too, because you believed in them enough to ask them if they want to do it. And we detach ourselves from the outcome. And then the second part is that we understand that our story matters and someone is going to connect with you being authentic to you, and inviting them to join you is a very powerful gift that you're paying forward. And if you were given this blessing of Beachbody in whatever capacity, whether you've been here for a day or you've been here for years and years, you know that this has blessed your life. Even if it's day 1, enough that you want to be on this call or watch this recording or whatever it may be, that you feel called to do this. So it's your responsibility to get out of your own way and figure out how to make this work. And it's going to feel scary and awkward at first. You're going to have a voice shaky at first. Or if you're getting back into this or learning how to craft your skill set, you're going to feel uncomfortable. But last time I checked, I'm never proud of myself for anything that I've done that was super easy. I'm always proud of myself for the stuff that I had to navigate through and became a better person in the process. And it's so much more about the person that you're becoming in pursuit of all those things than the goal itself, right? So let me share my screen. I want to give you guys some real tactical stuff of how I actually invite. So can you guys see my screen right now? Thumbs up if you can. Okay, cool. So let me move to the next slide here. And I want to actually show you guys my for real process. So how many of you guys are using Instagram stories right now? And Instagram, main platform? Okay, cool. So, okay, I love how everyone gives thumbs up on this team. Like, yeah, okay, we're in it together. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share with you guys exactly what I do. You can take a screenshot of this, but I'll send it to Julie as well. This is my actual like game plan, okay? So when I'm connected with someone, a lot of times I get questions from coaches of like, Kacia, who do I actually invite? Well, first thing first, actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second, just to keep, if you're newer to this business, first thing first, what I would tell you to do is jot down a list of 25 people that you know personally. And a lot of times when we focus on social media and content and putting ourselves out there in that way, we forget that the people that are closest to us are people that already know us and like us. We already have a little bit of that credibility with them straight out the gates. So it's really important to think of the people that you're excited to help, that would be fun to be doing, 6 weeks of the work with, or doing morning meltdown with, or one of these programs that you're going to be doing. It would be so fun to have your sister or, your mother-in-law or whoever it may be. Sit down, 1 through 25, write out 25 people that you know personally, that you could invite them through a way that makes sense to invite them. Pick up the phone and call them. Meet up with them, right? Text them, explain to them, I'm going to be doing a program. It would be so fun to do this with you. I feel like you might like it because of insert why they might like it. Do you want to do this with me? Just because you have a business, don't make it weird, because it's just like anything. You would invite like your mother-in-law, like your sister or one of your girlfriends to come to brunch with you at a place that you loved, right? So don't make it all weird just because you are a coach. And I see a lot of new coaches struggle with this idea of like, I don't want to invite my family or friends. If this works for you and it's helping you get healthier and happier and helping your relationships and helping you get more fulfilled, wouldn't those be the first people that you want to help? Like my mom doing 21 Day Fix was like, oh, 100% I am getting my mom to do 21 Day Fix. She was the first person that I was like, you have to do this. I don't really care what you say. I'm making you a meal plan. Give me your credit card. Like I did, compliance and all that. But point of it is think about those people first. Then when we're going out to social media, I think the best people to talk to are the people that are interacting with your posts or are watching your Instagram stories. And watching your Instagram stories means they are choosing to watch the content that you're putting out there on Instagram stories. So if you're getting intentional about posting on your feed and sharing on Instagram stories, because remember, when you follow someone, what are they going to do? They're going to go directly over to your Instagram stories and they're going to watch that first, because you can get to know someone's vibe way quicker on Instagram stories than you can just on Instagram posts, right? So if you're showing your face and you're talking about your workouts and you're sharing a product or you're adding value, whether that's a podcast recommendation or a quote or a book or a recipe or whatever, right? You're building that trust that way. So the people that are watching those Instagram stories, they're kind of like warm market. Think of them that way because they're already starting to catch on to the vision of what you're projecting through those Instagram stories. And then if you were to pick who are the people that I'm going to invite, I would scroll back like 2 weeks on your posts, find one of your posts and go look at who interacted with that post, commented on it or liked that post. And those are the people that I would be reaching out to first. And remember, and Julie, I'm sure would like fist pump to this, the follow-up is everything, because a lot of times people aren't ready just because you're filling your challenge group. So even when you see those people and you're like, oh, Sally Sue 293, this like mom down the street, she liked this post or she commented on this post. Oh, I asked her back in August. Well, in August, she's trying to figure out how to keep her kids alive because they're like home for the summer and now they're back in school. So she's in a different season. So we need to follow up with her. So to the tangible things, Instagram stories, those people are warm leads. Every single one of those people I think should be invited. And then tactically going back to even like 2 weeks ago on a post and making sure that you're inviting the people that are engaging with your posts, because those people are warm leads and they know what you're doing, right? So now let me share how I actually do that. I'll slow it down a little bit. I get really excited. I get so passionate about inviting because this is how you pay it forward and how you change people's freaking lives, and that's what we're here to do. So, okay, I personally, if you haven't picked up on this yet, I've got a little bit of energy, a lot of bit of energy, all the freaking time, and I do not tone myself down. I'm definitely too much for some people, and I'm probably not enough for some others. I don't really care. I only know how to be myself. That was goal number 1 with Beachbody. This business is going to help me. When I started it, I was 24 years old. It's going to help me figure out who the heck I am and who I want to be, and I'm going to show up as myself. So I personally use voice message invites only. I've found that it builds a connection with someone. I think voice medium is so powerful, which is why I also think podcasting is so powerful. They can see your vocal variety. They can see your inflection. if you're a mom, especially my coaches that are on my team that are moms of young kids, like if your kids are screaming in the background or like throwing Legos or like Tonka trucks at each other, I don't know what kids do, I don't have any, but like if they're doing all of that, that's better because it's real. And a lot of us are waiting for it to be perfect before we send an invite, or we want it to just be so, so perfect. People are tired of perfect. People want real. They want to know that you care. So if your voice is shaky or you're nervous to do a voice message invite, that means you should definitely do a voice message invite. Because remember, what you're also doing is if you are nervous to put yourself out there in a voice message invite, you're also showing that woman on the, or maybe a man, on the other side of the Instagram story that she could do this too if you're doing this. You're literally modeling for her that it's possible for her to do this because she hears that you've got your crazy kids in the background and she has crazy kids too, so she feels like she can make this work if you can, right? So I personally send voice message invites. So the people that I'm voice message inviting, like I said, are the people that are watching my stories and the people that are interacting with my posts. I personally, at this stage of my life, forget to text my best friends back. So I actually really hate small talk. It makes me want to take a fork and shove it in my eyeball. Just being real with you guys. And if you're a mom or you're juggling a lot of things or you're like traveling or you're like doing all the things, you might not want small talk either. So I'm not going to ask her about her dog breed. I'm not going to ask her like all these questions. I'm going to send a voice message invite after having interacted with her Instagram stories or with her feed and picking up on the fact that we have something in common. Maybe we are dog moms. Maybe we go to some of the same places. Maybe we shop at the same places. Maybe, you know, if you're a mom, they have kids the same age as you, or they have hobbies the same as you. You can pick up on what they're putting on their feed. And I'll send a voice message invite that says something like this. And it's very blanket on purpose. And I'll dig into why. I say something like, hey, pretty lady, or hey, girl, I know this is random. We're only connected on social media, but I love your whole vibe. You seem like someone I'd be friends with and really connect with. So I wanted to extend the invite. Again, point one, why am I talking to this girl? Literally just because I feel like I would like her. Number two, I run these virtual boot camps. I personally say boot camps because I feel like everybody knows what a boot camp is and it's virtual, so they don't have to worry about where it is. Virtual boot camps with a bunch of busy babes or women from all across the country. Because again, the main objection that I'm getting is time. So I always am encouraging you in your invite to actually solve that objection proactively. Busy, like plug busy moms or like people that are trying to juggle a lot are in these groups. From all across the country, we have access to a digital platform for streaming our workouts, kind of like Netflix. We hold each other accountable, we talk meal prep, and we just pump each other up in this tight-knit community in a private app that we all have access to. I have no idea if this would be up your alley, but I wanted to make sure that you knew you're welcome to join us if you think it sounds fun. Sound up your alley at all, okay? So the point to take from that, and why this I think works really well, is because it's not specific. I'm not plugging Beachbody because as much as we love Beachbody, there are some people that have a negative connotation with network marketing because they don't understand it yet. I also do not use insider jargon ever. I always want to make sure that the person that's following me on social media feels like they're in. So I'm not going to say something like, I mean, even on Instagram stories, I'm probably not going to be like, give me all the yellows, you know, like even though you guys know, like, I love carbs. I'm not going to say that because I want the girl that's connected with me that's a random, you know, she works at Google in Atlanta and she's thinking about starting her health and fitness journey or starting a business. I don't want her to feel like she's not in on my inside joke. I want her to feel part of this. So in my invites, I don't even actually say Beachbody On Demand because I know that any woman is going to know what a Netflix for streaming workouts is. So I'm kind of trying to educate and solve pain points in my initial invite, if that makes sense. I can see a couple of hands. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So it works really well because it's also really fun. I don't feel salesy. I don't feel weird. It feels very honest and I can get it done really quickly over voice message invites. And I don't feel like I'm ever sending scripts, which for me, I've had blocks of why I've wanted to invite. And I found that the times that I don't feel like it's very me or it feels forced and it's not fun. If you guys know Enneagram, I'm a 7, which means if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. So I make everything fun. This is really fun for me. And it really shows them why I actually care about them. And it shows them a really honest reason. Like, I don't even know if this would be up your alley, but you seem like someone I'd vibe with, right? So of course, I'm not talking about price. I'm not talking about specific dates because she might tell me she's going on a 3-week honeymoon. Great. Maybe she would be better fit for January. She might be training for a marathon. Maybe she wants the recover. Like, I have no idea what she wants because I don't know her story yet, right? So typically, I'm going to keep going into this and then I'll answer any questions. So basically, once I send that blanket invite, they're typically going to respond back in 3 ways. They're either going to say something like, tell me more, or I'm interested, like I've been watching you. They're going to go just straight for the jugular that like kills new coaches. Like, how much does it cost? And then they like freak out, right? I did that same thing too. So if that's ever you or one of your new coaches, be like, I've totally been there. Or they won't respond to you, or maybe they'll say no. I've been doing this for almost 6 years, and I've never had anyone say like, you suck, go live under a rock, like I hate you. I've never had anyone say crazy things like that. And if they did, there's a block button for a reason, because I do not want that juju in my space, and I do not want that woman on my team, because she needs to do a lot of personal development before I can hang with her. So she's got to go do her own thing, bless and release. Point is, they're going to respond in one of those 3 ways typically, right? If they don't respond, you need people that don't respond, because I would tell you probably 80% of my challenge pack sales are from follow-ups, okay? You need them to ask how much does it cost or tell me more, because they're expecting you to answer that question, okay? They're expecting that you say tell me more, you're just going to word vomit on them, or they're expecting that when they say how much does it cost, you're going to tell them how much it costs. This is how you're going to be different, and this is how this is going to get really, really freaking fun and fulfilling. Now, let me show you what I do. Okay, I know this is a lot, and like I said, I'll send these to Julie. If you're like, I can't write all these notes, like I'm cooking dinner. Okay, totally cool. But I want to share with you, like, walk you through it, even though obviously you can read the text, because I think it's really powerful to hear kind of how this flows. So when they respond, if they say, tell me more, or how much does it cost, I refuse to answer those questions. Right? We need the people that are ghosting, that don't respond, because those people are going to be follow-ups later where you get to show that you care, because you still get to develop relationships with them. But the people that say, tell me more, or how much does it cost, we absolutely can't answer that question straight out the gates, because we might lose them. Here's how I'm getting less ghosts, okay? So first, this is 3 steps. First, I'm validating their interest. If they ask how much it costs, or they say, tell me more, that means they're interested in being part of this, because otherwise they would say like, go live under a rock, or they wouldn't respond to me. They are interested. So they've already got their guard up. They're trying to give themselves an objection built in with how much does it cost, so that if they don't like what I say, then they can just say it doesn't fit in their budget, because that's the easiest thing to say. But first, I'm going to validate their interest. Yay, Sarah, I'm so excited that you're interested in this group. I really do think that you would vibe with the community, or, you know, insert whatever reason that you think they would like it. Like, I think that it would be cool for you to be with other busy moms. And then I say that I seek to understand the reason that they want to join before I give them any information. So I literally will not even tell them anything yet, because I don't know why they want to join, or what products might be a good fit for them, or if the business opportunity is a good fit for them, whatever it may be. So I say, because this is my words and how I would talk to a best friend, I'll say something like, before I give you a full rundown, or I'll even say, because this is how I talk, before I word vomit all over you because I get so excited, can you tell me a little bit more about your health and fitness goals? What's working for you, and what's not working as well as you would like? Then I can give you more details around that, okay? So the question is, like, they say, tell me more. They say, how much does it cost? I'm validating their interest. Like, yay, I'm so excited that you're interested. This does seem like this would be a good fit. But before I give you more information, can you tell me a little bit more about you and your health and fitness goals? What's working? And make sure you do the ands, because this part gives you a layup. What's not working as well as you would like? Because they're going to tell you what their pain point is. And then if you're worried, or maybe you're like, Kacia, I'm even more tenured in this, like this is one-on-one, whatever, because you're going to have a coach that's really freaking scared about being a salesperson. And this is how you get to be a solution provider, not a salesperson. You get to be a community builder. You get to do all these amazing things, because you're actually seeking to understand what her pain point is. And she's going to tell you. She bought the personal training and she never went to the gym. She has a crazy commute. She travels for work. I mean, when people say they travel for work, I'm like, cha-ching, you are definitely signing up, because all these programs are so convenient. Get ready, right? But I don't know what her story is, because remember, she's a random person that I'm connected with on Instagram. Just because she has 2 kids and I think she might like the moms in my groups doesn't mean I know what her struggle is, right? Doesn't mean that she just spent $600 on Orange Theory memberships for 4 months and she hasn't gone. So she's inside, she's so like nervous to sign up for something else because her husband's like, well, you never went to Orange Theory. We have no idea what the story is. And sometimes when we catch people off guard because we actually ask and care and wait to hear the response, they'll tell you so much. And that's where all of us that are in this for heart reasons, because we want to help people, because we want to serve people, this is when you get hooked and you're addicted to this coaching thing, because you really get to change people's lives because they tell you a lot more about them. If you're stuck in the how's the weather in Ohio, or what's your dog breed, or like, oh, little Sally, also is 3. If you're talking about all that stuff, you're not finding out any information about her pain points and how you can literally change her freaking life by plugging her into this community business opportunity products or programs, right? So she tells me the pain point, okay? And then I explain if this could be a solution for her. So I'd say something like, I hear you, girl. This is like very sales 101, but the concept of like feel, felt, found. I want to make sure that she understands that I hear her and she is seen, because there are so many, especially women, that do not feel seen or heard or appreciated, or they're going through the motions, or especially if they're caregivers, like their moms or whatever, they're pouring into everybody else. And sometimes nobody's stopping and asking them, what do you want? Or how do you feel? Or how can I help you? How can I take some pressure off of you? So we need to make sure that they feel like they are seen. So I will literally use this jargon. I hear you, girl, or I see you, girl, or I understand where you're coming from. I'm never going to say I understand what it's like to be someone else, because you can't. But I say, I hear you, girl. So many of the women in these groups, myself included, struggle with staying consistent. So for example, the example I'm using here is she told me that she's not consistent about going to the gym. So many of the women in these groups, myself included, struggle with staying consistent. It's so tough sometimes when life is crazy busy, isn't it? Right? I'm connecting with her here, and this is over voice message. What's really cool is when you join these groups, you actually are in a private app group, and they're designed to hold us accountable because we're checking in with our workouts. You can even set little reminders in there to make sure that you're getting it done for extra accountability. Plus, let's be real, when you see other busy women that are also getting their workouts done, it helps so much because you want to show up even more too. And then the final question, does that sound like it would be helpful for you? So I didn't tell her anything about cost. I didn't talk about the coaching opportunity. I didn't talk about Shakeology, because she told me her pain point was that she's not consistent, right? So I'm feeding off of her pain point. So I'm going to go back real quick. I'm validating her interest. I'm seeking to understand where she's at, and then I'm asking for her pain point. And then from there, do you want me to show you how I close people? Do we want to talk about closing? Okay, you guys.
Okay, wait. Before you go any further, can we just go back to the 2 words that you said? Solution provider.
Yes.
It's funny because when people always say, well, I don't want to be a salesperson or whatever, I always go, well, I actually am not. I just connect people with our solutions at work. Mm-hmm. And because that's what we do. We're solution providers, which is no different than my hairstylist or my doctor, yep, or my nail person, or what, like they provide me. Travis solves my issues with my hair. I have 0 issue writing Travis a check because he solves my issues with my hair. We're solving what someone has, an issue that someone has with their health and fitness. First of all, I think women think it's so much harder than it has to be. And they both think that, and they use that as an excuse why they can't succeed, which is a bullshit story that they tell themselves. So we're just we have all that already going on, but we provide the solution. And when you break it down as easily as you just said, and think of yourself as a solution provider, that is a mindset shift. That is a game-changing mindset shift. I'm a solution provider. I 100% believe that there's no way Travis, my hairstylist, thinks of himself as a salesperson, even though that's what he's in. That's what every single human on this planet really is in. When you're selling your kids on going to bed at 8:30 instead of 9, you're a salesperson, and don't think you aren't for 1 second. But there's no way Travis thinks of himself as a salesperson. He thinks of himself as a beauty enhancer, a solution provider, or whatever that might be. So why do we get it twisted in our head that we're anything other than a solution provider? We are not. That was awesome. And that's all I have to say. Okay, you can continue now.
No, I love that, Julie. And to add on that, if you know yourself, or if you have a coach of yours that's struggling with this, get grounded on why this matters to you. Because sometimes we can know all the tactical stuff, but we need to just take some space, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sit down with a journal and a piece of paper and pen. Why does this matter to you? Who are you so excited to serve? If someone slid into your DMs and they were like, Susan, Sarah, Liz, I want to build a business right now. What are they struggling with? What is the problem that you are most excited to help someone else with? It's probably the problem that you started with. For me, I was lacking fulfillment. That has nothing to do with fitness. That has nothing to do with Beachbody coaching. But I was lacking fulfillment and doing something that I felt like was making an impact because I didn't have software engineers being like, Kacia, you're changing my life when you're managing our budget. Like, nobody said that to me. They're like, yeah, like, okay, she needs to know the budget. It wasn't like it was a bad job, but it was like I didn't get that fulfillment. So go back to the place of what made you fall in love with this. If you've been here for a while, make sure that you are in love with this because people can feel it from you. In a world of carefully curated content on social media, you got to be the real person. And that's so much easier than trying to be perfect because like that's really unattainable, right? And so gratitude. Why has this business served me? Why am I so grateful? Where would my life be? If you want to go to a dark place, I've done this before and it just results in lots of crying, ugly tears, like snot combined in your mouth. Tears. Where would you be if you didn't have this business? Where would you be if your coach was too afraid to invite you? If she didn't show up on social media, where would your life be? And I know for me, I don't even want to imagine that life. And if I do, it will literally put me to tears because I would be in a completely different realm. Definitely wouldn't be marrying the guy that I'm marrying. Definitely wouldn't be in the shape mentally or physically or emotionally, right? So take it back to that. When you come from a place of gratitude and you are a solution provider, like Julie said, or like her hairstylist thinks of himself like an artist or whatever it may be, like when you think of that and you believe that to your core, you don't get rattled by people that don't get it. And you don't ask yourself the questions like, how long is this going to take? You ask yourself the questions like, how far can I go? How many people can I impact? How many lives can I change? But when you're thinking like, oh, I just need to hit Success Club, you're thinking too linear. Yes, you do need to hit Success Club because you need to build confidence. You need to get people into this ecosystem. You need to get those messages that say, because of you, my life's changed. You can't get that if you don't put yourself out there and ask people to join you, if you're just waiting for them. Okay. Whew, sorry, I can rant on that all day. I will give you some technical closing stuff that works really well for me. Because how many of you guys would like to find more business builders? I mean, everyone should raise their hand. Okay. So one thing I want to share about this, because this is one of the biggest questions I get all the time. How do you attract people to build the business? Number one, you actually need to talk about the business. And I don't even just mean when you're inviting, but are you sharing about it on social media? Because sometimes we talk about challenge groups, but we forget to talk about the business and not just in your posts, but in what you're doing. You have an opportunity really uniquely through Instagram stories to educate your audience. So for me, I think of one of my fears before I started this business was that I wouldn't know how to do it. So I would look stupid because I have no idea how to build a business online or how to post on social media. So I was fearful of not knowing how. So whenever we do our team calls or I'm listening to the National Wake Up Call or whatever it would be, which by the way, obviously be on team calls, obviously listen to National Wake Up Call, free training for your business. But when I'm doing that, I'm doing like an Instagram story where I'll share something about that person's story, or I will share like that it's training. And I'll emphasize the fact that it's so crazy to me that I used to worry that I wouldn't know how to do this, but turns out I get to do it with all these other people. And then I'll pan to like the Zoom chat, or I'll pan to the like taking a story. So for example, if you're sharing something like a team call, it's a cool opportunity. Or if you're in a team training group or you're in your Facebook community group where you're like, it's so cool that I was worried about resources. Turns out I have all the resources I can imagine. I'm so grateful for this community. So you're educating and plugging, right? While still talking about building the business. But people need to know what you're actually doing so that they feel like they could do it too. Okay.
Wait, before you go on, I'm going to, since you just said that, I was thinking about this earlier and I don't know why. Oh, because I was thinking about this team call and I was thinking about how one of a veteran coach on our team was with another network marketing company before she joined ours. And I remember when she became a coach on our team and I said to her, I'm going to put you in this Coach Basics group. She goes, okay, cool. But how much does that cost? And I go, I don't understand your question. I'm not sure I understand your question. And she goes, well, how much does that cost? Because my other business, it just costs me. And I go, I don't understand your question because it costs nothing, because that's what we do here is help people become the best version of themselves. And we do that through all kinds of ways. One of those is training. And I was thinking about that because I was thinking about this team call tonight, how we run these and we just all share and it's just free. So I think what a great example that you gave, Kacia, to share that on your stories and talk about how this is so accessible for anyone and you don't have to worry about knowing because nobody knows. Nobody knows anything when they come into this business, but here are all these resources.
And it changes. And it changes all the time. So like you have to have a community. And what's crazy when you think about that, you guys, is like some people don't have this type of community anywhere in their life. And the reason that they want to join is literally because they see however many women are on this, like on a call together. And they're like, wait, I don't even know what they're talking about, but like, I just kind of want to be friends with all those people because they seem like they're doing something, right? Which like is crazy because when you're in it, you forget what it's like when you're not in it. But a lot of us are longing for this type of connection.
And they take it for granted. I think we take it for granted that of course I have a team call, and of course I have a national wake up call, and of course I have all that. Yeah. And it's free. And so many people don't, if they're going to their jobs, they may have to pay for that. I got to pay for training at the Y or whatever to do. And, you know, and so talking about that on your stories, Kacia, is such a great tangible takeaway for us to remember that it's important, you know, that we put that picture up and maybe we're tagging you or whoever's speaking and saying, thank you, whatever, but take that another step and going, this is how I learn, this is how I get better. And this is accessible all the time and it's free. And you can do this too. Magic words. And you can do this too.
Preach. So good.
Okay. I'm done.
Okay, let me show you guys one last slide here that you can screenshot, but obviously I'll give this to Julie too. And this is essentially how I close. So like I said, I think I treat social media, Instagram stories in particular, as like a sneak peek into coaching, where I'm talking about what I do as a coach and I'm explaining things in real time. Like I'm teaching like these coaches how to build a business like I did when I first started or whatever it may be. So I'm planting the seed with the people that are following me already, but a majority of my coaches come through my challenge groups. Even if they think they want to build a business, I'm plugging them into a challenge group because I want them to get the experience of falling in love with the community, the products, the program. Because if they don't, they're not going to stay here for the long haul. So, it's the dichotomy of sharing about it publicly to educate your audience, but then also giving them the opportunity when you close them. So I personally, I'm going to walk you guys through this real quick, but I personally give the option to every single person of if they want to sign up as a coach or a customer. I don't push them either way. I give them both options and I let them choose. I was signed up directly as a discount coach with no intention to ever build a business with this until I felt really in love with this and it just made sense. I was strictly a discount coach. Had I not been given the option to be a coach or to be a customer, which to me, it was a no-brainer to sign up as a coach because it said discount and I just am like, I want a discount. I didn't think anything of it. But had I not been a discount coach, I wouldn't have been added into a team community page. Had I not been added into that community page, like this Facebook group like you guys have, I wouldn't have creeped like everybody does that's a discount coach, creeped on all of the stuff that was getting shared, the transformations, the people that were saying that they were getting messages from people that say, because of you, my life's changed, that were like helping marriages. I was like, all of these women, like, I don't really get it. There's like P90X in their garage, but they are literally changing people's lives. Like, I want in on that. And I messaged my upline coach and I was like, what do I need to do? Like, I want to do this. And she's like, hit Success Club 10 and go Emerald. And I was like, I'm going Emerald today and I'm hitting Success Club 10. I don't even know what that is, but I will find it on Google. Let's go. And then I did. And then I did every single month and I've done it for 6 years. Okay. So point is, what was the point? The point is add discount coaches into your community page, but also the point is give people the option because you don't know. So when I'm closing someone, and when I say closing, I mean I'm getting to the end of the conversation, I've asked them about their goals, their pain points. I've asked them, like, does this sound like this would be helpful for you? We've gone back and forth breadcrumb style. And now it's getting to the point that she is going to actually get a link and purchase to be a coach or to be a customer. So I do these 3 steps. Number 1, I'm reiterating her why. Because I asked her the question at the beginning where I said, tell me what's working for you and tell me what's not working as well as you would like. I know her pain point. She literally told it to me. So I'm going to reiterate why this is going to solve her pain point. So I'm so excited for you to be part of this. I know you're so worried about being consistent in your workouts. This is going to be so convenient to have these programs that you can do without any equipment. Even when you're in like the middle of a hotel room, like you are going to be so pumped for how consistent you're going to be. I'm going to use her words back to her why. Okay. And number 2, that's essentially her why. And number 2 is essentially explaining how this is going to solve their pain point. So it's kind of like a 2-parter. And then I'm literally explaining how they can sign up as a coach or a customer. And how I explain that is like, okay, one last question for you. Did you want to sign up as a coach member or a customer member? You're treated exactly the same in the group. Because a lot of times when people hear coach, they're like, I'm just starting. I don't want to coach anyone. So I tell them before they can even give me an objection, I'm solving this objection. Which is you're treated totally the same in the group. But a lot of girls go with the coach membership because you get a 25% discount on products moving forward for like month 2 of Shakeology, pre-workout, bars, etc. And you get a 25% commission if you ever had a girlfriend or a coworker or family member that wanted to join one of our groups too. You don't have to quote unquote coach anyone. And a lot of times I'll even plug, but I do think you would crush it at this. But it's just a sign up option that girls love. Which is best for you? What do you think? So I like to give them, like I said, I like to give them both options. I kind of lean them more towards the coach option. I don't give them that as the only option, but I do lean them a little bit that direction because I know that for me, if I wasn't a discount coach, I wouldn't have seen the bigger vision. So I feel this like duty to want to make sure that I'm giving people the opportunity to get the full experience. And I think as a coach, when you're attending coach events and all of that, you're getting more of the full experience. If they go the route of customer or if they go the route of coach, then I'm going to explain to them more details of what that involves. So for example, Trina just jumped in the chat with, do you tell them about the monthly coach business fee? If they tell me that they want to sign up as a coach, I'm like, perfect, here's how it's going to work. So I'm going to pull a link for you. It's going to give you access and I'm going to explain everything that she gets. A year of access to Beachbody On Demand. Remember when you're like giving someone a link, tell them again like how much crazy stuff they get. I see a lot of coaches that will send me screenshots. They're asking me like why this person ghosts and they want my feedback. I'm like, girl, I see why. You didn't even tell her how cool this is. Like you just sent her the link, like, and you're expecting that she's going to understand that just because she sees a little picture in a share card that she knows. I reiterate again, like, so just so you know exactly what you're getting an entire year. Yes, literally a year of Beachbody On Demand, every single workout program that's ever been created by Beachbody, all the meal plans, all the digital content, literally cooking shows and stuff that you're probably going to find that I can't even find because it's hours and hours worth of content on there. And you're going to get a shaker, 30 servings bag, whatever. You guys know what you get. I'm going to explain the whole challenge pack. And then I'm going to say, because you're going to sign up as a coach member, you're also going to get added into our team community page on Facebook. So make sure you send me a friend request there. And just so you know how the payment of this works, first month is going to be, this is all included. It's the same cost to be a coach. Moving forward, you get a 25% discount and it's a $15 monthly fee to be a coach. The reason is, think of it like a Costco membership. You're paying monthly to get a discount. But what's cool is when you get rockin' results, because you're so dang consistent, you're probably going to have a random friend that wants to join you anyways. So it's going to be cheaper for you for the long haul. So I'm painting the full picture, going back to her why. Like I'm always going back to the person's why. So what's cool and really powerful is if you're in a situation, and I always tell coaches this, where I used to look back at my old invites and I would just like word vomit like 7 paragraphs of why I thought they would love it. And I like look at it and I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. But here's the thing. What's cool about that is you can go back to those people and you can explain why you were so excited and say, by the way, I was just reading our message because you popped up on my Instagram stories. I realized when I invited you, I gave you so much information because I was so passionate about it. I just want you to know that I'm always here to support you, and I can tone it down a little bit and explain to you a little bit more of why this could be valuable for you if you do think that this is something that you're interested in. Because we're still connected, I'm always here as a resource for you. So it's almost like you take ownership of the things that you've done in the past and you give yourself grace, because if you're new, especially if you're new, like we're figuring it out as we go. And I shared with my team, last thing I'll share, I shared with my team, they're like, Kacia, I can't post on social media like you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, scroll back. And I did a team call about a sandwich because I scrolled all the way back on my Instagram and I posted a picture of a sandwich and the caption said, nom, nom, nom. And I had like 800 hashtags. That was the entire picture. And I was like, you guys, you've got to post your picture of the sandwich. You've got to lick your shaker cup and be awkward and see what doesn't work. You've got to put yourself out there and like, yes, use all the tips that Julie will give you. And hopefully this was helpful for you and other speakers and national wake up calls, all that. Yes, use tips and shorten that learning curve. But at the same time, good enough has got to be okay with you. You've got to get it out there because you're going to get feedback from what works and what doesn't work. But you can't get feedback if you're just sitting in analysis paralysis, expecting that one day you're going to feel motivated. Truth of the matter is you got to put it out there and then you're going to learn. If I wouldn't have posted the sandwich, I wouldn't have had confidence to then talk about my body image. If I wouldn't have talked about my body image, I wouldn't have been able to build my business, right? So like it all is connected. So give yourself grace. This is supposed to be fun. It's going to be hard at times because we're often our own worst critic, but you have all of the tools and all of the resources. It's just up to you to be resourceful and use them and understand that you're here for a reason. And I don't know if that's going to be that you're here with Julie and I when we're twerking in our wheelchairs when we're like 150. Great, be here and do it with us. But if not, and this Beachbody business serves you for 2 years, you're going to be a better person than when you started. But you'll be the best person you can possibly be if you lean in to the growth that comes from building a business like this, because this will serve you in your life. And I hope it's helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions or anything.
Okay. Kacia dropped the mic and we don't have to. Right there.
I love you guys. I love all the head nods.
Okay. I love the coach member customer member verbiage. And it's funny that you share that, because I was talking to my daughter, Jessie, that you know, she lives in New York, and she's a freshman at Marymount. And I think I shared this with the team, maybe on last week's team call or something, but Jessie, on her own. So this is just, she just figured this out because it made sense to her. Like it makes sense to you, like whatever, that when she is messaging one of her friends about joining as a coach, because girl's got like 4 share cards out right now. It's ridiculous. At 18, she's building her business. She says, do you want to do like the coach discount price or just the guest discount price? She goes, it's kind of like, you know, when you check out online, when it says, do you want to check out as a guest or as a member? And so when you check out as a member, it's a little bit cheaper. Do you want to do that? And when she told me that, I was like, what? You did? She goes, yeah, it just seemed like it made sense to me.
Yep.
It's just that easy.
It makes sense to her target audience too. Right?
Correct.
Cool.
So like how many of them are shopping online or looking at something online? They're at whatever, you know, wherever they're, all their little stores that they shop at that I don't know where they are. And it, you know, they have a membership or not. And so they can even visualize that in their head, guest checkout, or you have an account. And so it made sense to her. It made sense to them. So this verbiage too makes sense to me, probably makes sense to the team. Customer member or coach member, and that just adding that member on it instead of just saying, do you want to be a coach? I think takes a little bit of that. Okay, let's just all take a breath. It's that we can make as, you know, I always try to tell people, you can make this as big or not as you want it to be. As big or not. It's not up to us to set your goals for you. It's just up to us to provide you with the tools and resources to help you see the potential and help you reach those goals. But your goals are your goals.
Yeah.
But don't ever come back and go, well, I just, you know, it just didn't work for me. No, we know what that is. That's just bullshit that you just are like, no, yes, it does work for you. If you do it, if it can work for my 18-year-old, it can work. It can work.
Yeah. Sure. It's really powerful to also think about, like I said to you guys at the beginning, and sometimes this is like a tiny little nugget that can be really helpful, is to really think about the fact that no matter what your goals are in this business, how can this business serve you as a human being?
Yes.
Like if you want to become more patient, or you want to be more brave in your life, or you want to raise your hand more in the meetings that you have at your office and you feel nervous or insecure to do that, inviting and pushing yourself just a little bit outside your comfort zone, or putting yourself out there and sharing your story, is going to help you as a human. And that's going to serve you no matter what. So if you don't have a human goal in this business, I think that's really powerful. And when I look back on the woman that I was, the girl that I was 6 years ago, she, for some reason, knew she needed a human goal coming into this. No one told me that, but I was like, I need to make a human goal. I think I want to get more myself. I don't even know where I came up with that, but that was a mission that I was on from straight out the gates, because I was so used to following this path of what everyone thought that I should be doing. And this was the first thing that I was doing that really caught people off guard, because it was so random. And I won day one. Because I just decided to be myself, you know? So have your human goal too, because it's going to serve you.
Yeah, because like you said, if this serves you for 2 years, 5 years, I mean, however many years, 11 years or whatever.
Working in your wheelchair.
Yes, 105 years, whatever it is, you do want to be a better person on the other side of it, because that's what this business can do for you. More than anything else that I've ever been a part of, that's what this business can do for you. I've never been a part of anything where the culture is continually, how can you get better? How can you get better? I've never been a part of anything. And I would venture to say there isn't anything else out there like this, with that continued push and continued flow of resources to help us do it. It's crazy. It's crazy. So cool. So Kacia, what we're going to do now, if you want to be a part of this, was so you can help us cheer on people. I'm going to take you off my big, beautiful view and put you on speaker view. Is April, who's been writing down everyone's names, we only do the Zoom, not on the Facebook Live in the team page. You got to be on the Zoom to win. Writes down everyone's names. And then April, I have 3 gifts tonight, 3. So then April is going to draw, and we're going to see who wins, except we really need we can't have repeat winners this week. So let's find some new winners. Okay, here we go.
There's my mug from Business Boutique. So
yes, it was awesome.
I don't remember who's won in the past, so you'll just have to use the honor system if you've already been a winner.
Okay, here we go.
Susan, there's Susan with just one, Susan.
There's how many? Because are there two Susans? Oh, it's just Susan. Susan with the dark hair. I see a Susan with the dark hair because we have Susan and Susan Russell. Susan with the dark hair. You want a notebook that says "Figure it out." Figure it out. This is your mantra from now until the end of time. What do I need to do? I can figure it out. So Susan, you know the drill. You Facebook message me your mailing address, please.
Okay, second person is just Liz. Like there's no last name with it. So Liz with the red circle and the L in it.
Liz, you have won a notebook that says, and she never gave up. I know. So Facebook message me your address, okay? This is I almost kept this for myself, Liz. So just so you know, you're getting one that's very special. Okay. And last but not least, I really, really like this one. I hope whoever wins this one really likes it because look, it's got lightning bolts on it. Isn't that fun? I know I made it at Erin Contrin. Okay. Who's our last?
The last person is Trina Blanc.
Trina Blanc! Trina and I are celebrating this weekend a lot because our Bulldogs got a freaking win yesterday. So Trina's son plays for my husband. Can you believe that? She's on our team and her son plays for my husband. So Trina, you're getting a lightning bolt. This is going to be good luck for us for the rest of the season, all right? We're going to come. The Dogs are coming in like lightning bolts to the rest of the teams that we play. Trina, send me your mailing address via Facebook Messenger, please. Awesome. All right, you guys, this has been Kacia. This has been amazing. Like so much great information. As always, the recording will be posted on my YouTube channel, but you know, it's streamed live into the team page. So you can go right in there. You can direct your new coaches right in there. Anytime you have a new coach, direct them in there to watch this, but talk about an amazing education and inviting and closing. This was it. Kacia, thank you so much for sharing your
See you guys later. Thank you, Julie. Thank you guys.
Thank you.